Hi, I'm Margaret, and thank you so much for joining me here on The Gardening Me. Today, we are looking at all of the flowers, all of the annuals that I grew from seed, mostly annuals. I think there was one perennial in there, and just seeing how they're doing right now. This year I did a lot of experimenting. Well, every year I do a lot of experimenting, and this year in particular, I did a lot of experimenting with annuals. I tried a bunch of different annuals that I had never grown from seed before, including snapdragons, including China asters, including dahlias that I grew from seed, as well as my single seed challenge, which was a hollyhock. Now, it's been a really tough year in the garden weather-wise. It has been hot, hot, hot. Usually our temperatures were approaching the 30s and into the 30s, and I'll put what that is in Fahrenheit up here. And in addition to that, it has been super, super dry. We would go weeks and weeks without any rain to speak of, and the little drops that fell every once in a while really did very little. So I resorted to hand watering, but I basically concentrated on hand watering the raised beds, including the cut flowers that were in the raised beds. And they did fine. They did take quite a while to get going. The raised beds, the mix that I put in there last year, because these are all new raised beds that I did last year, the mix that I put in ended up being quite sandy. So that being the case, the flowers and everything else in the raised beds took a while to get going, but eventually it did get going, and now they're doing beautifully. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for all of the flowers that I planted, the annuals that I planted in the perennial borders. Those, not so well. I essentially left the perennial border to its own devices. I watered 2, maybe 3 times over the entire summer, and basically all of them are not doing very well. They're teeny tiny. So, yeah. But you know what? I'm going to show you those anyway, because there is no such thing as a perfect garden year, right? We all have our issues every single year, be it weather or pests or mistakes that we make. So I figured I'm keeping it real, and I'll show you those as well as showing you all the successes in the actual raised beds. I did 3 cutting flower beds this year, and I have been cutting from them. And here, this one is the Zinnia and Snapdragon, Scabiosa, strawflower bed. So let's just go through the varieties that I grew. Oh, look at this one. This is a beauty. This is candy cane. Look at that. It is so full. Here's candy cane as well, but this one is the stripes are much redder. And obviously only, 2, 3 small rows of petals. And quite a small flower. And then we have this one down here. Much bigger flower, but still 2, 3 rows of petals. And then this one here. This one is actually not white and pink, it's yellow and pink. Makes life interesting, right? All the variation. So moving over, we have one of my favorite varieties, pink senorita. And there's a few here. Oh, look at this one here. I'm actually thinking this might not be pink senorita. This might be Raggedy Ann, which I also have in here. And Raggedy Ann is a mix of colors, because this looks a little too pink for pink senorita, which is more of a coral kind of color generally. This is probably Raggedy Ann. And right beside it is Carousel, which has bicolor petals. And again, see the different structures. So this is much more flat. And then look at this one here with the, what, maybe 10 rows of petals, probably more. And now we're coming into some snapdragons. I grew 3 colors, all the Potomac series, and this is lavender. I have cut so many snapdragons, it's amazing. And beside it we have white. The sun is going down, so it's kind of giving some weird. There, I'm gonna use my shadow to get a better perspective on the color here. My favorite by far is the orange. It's called orange, but to me it looks like a sunset. Look at that. Let's pull that one into the shade and to see the colors on that. I mean, that's so gorgeous. Further down, now we come to the Scabiosa. And this is Black Knight. And I'm also growing another variety called Summer Fruits, which has a mix of colors. So it has more of these, which are kind of a red. But it also has some of these beautiful pinks. And right beside, at the end of the bed, that's where I put the straw flowers. And I've actually harvested a bunch already. I'm not really seeing, oh, I'm seeing some side shoots. And this one here, oof, it's a tall one. Let's see if I can focus in on that. There we go. And here. Oh, looks like a little face. I am thrilled with these asters. Now, I'm sure like everything else, they probably could have been bigger and bushier, but this is my first year growing them, and I just can't say enough about how much I'm enjoying them. This one here is king size apricot. The formula mix is a mix, as it indicates, of different colors. So far, I only have the white, and I have a deep pink. This is one of my favorites. Look at that. This is Bengal Rose. When I was looking at my seed starting notes, I started one called Janina Rose, and I have no idea where that one went. Maybe it's this one. This one back here is also rose. So maybe that's where it went. I'm really not sure. On the other side of this bed are zinnias. The orange zinnias here are Aztec. They're very bright and cheery. And then on this side here, I have a whole series of Queen Lime or Queenie Lime zinnias all along this side here. Starting off on this side here with Queenie Lime Orange. Some, like this one, have a little bit more lime on them, and while others have a little more orange. This one down here has a little more orange, as does this one here. Oh, and apologies, I think my neighbor just started their mower or something. And here we have Queen Lime Red, which to me looks more like lavender. And right beside them are the queen lime. And lastly is queen lime blush. Here are bells of Ireland, which I have been harvesting from for quite a while. They make such an amazing filler. Here are the stalks that I did a super late planting of. They're not really doing anything. There's one tiny little bloom in here. Other than that, they're just kind of sitting here, but they're not dead either, and they don't look that bad. I'm wondering if they might bloom as we approach fall and the days get cooler. I'm not sure if they're daylight sensitive or not, so that could be an issue, but I'm just gonna let them go and see what they do. And right behind is the Tithonia. And this one, I have to put my camera way up there because it is tall, tall, tall. Let's see if I can get a good photo. I can't get a good, I have to reach over and bend down so that you can see what that looks like. There we go. It's a very deep, deep orange, almost verging on red. So everything in the border has done really, really badly because of the extended drought we've had. You'll notice the brown in here. That is a new addition as of yesterday. Drip irrigation in the bed. Oh, so excited. I did a test. Everything looked great. Everything ran great. Oh, excuse the wind. All of a sudden the wind's picked up quite a bit. And I am very, very happy. So there's still a lot of cleanup to do here because, as you can see, there's a lot of open areas of irrigation, but this is calendula. This is actually from saved seed that I had from years past, and they're tiny. Normally cosmos are huge, and these are flowering at a foot tall. So even the self-seeded ones, which normally get in the neighborhood of 4 feet tall, sometimes even taller in the garden every single year, this year they're a foot tall. Over here I have a bunch of other things that I seeded. We have some Dianthus, cottage pinks. I believe it comes in a variety of colors. This is lemon bee balm. It is glorious. The bees love it. I grow it every year that I can. I think I missed last year with the things happening in the garden. Peeking behind it, right there, I can't recall the name. It begins with a T. I'll put it on the screen. But this was a new to me flower. It's supposed to be a great filler. There's a couple here, but it's supposed to grow significantly taller than that. So yet another casualty of the drought, although at least I'm seeing what it looks like, and I am definitely going to grow it again. And this is a little ornamental grass that I grew. Again, I'll put the name on the screen. Fish something or other, I believe, and hasn't done really much yet. Peeking behind the hydrangea here is a Nicotiana, one of the few that's flowering, and again, tiny, tiny. Not exactly sure what variety that is. I believe there was a bronze one. That's probably what this is. Earlier in the season, several of the sunflowers I put out, I would say more than half, maybe 75%, were basically eaten up by rabbits. And that was before I got the rabbit protection up. So now these are the ones that are left. once again, tiny, tiny. Oh, and I see one here. It's already has a bud on it, but it's only 2 feet tall. And these varieties, I don't think any of them are that short. I think I am growing a couple of shorter ones, but that is short even for the shorter ones. Just to show how nature often trumps us when it comes to sowing things, even though we try to do the best, give them perfect conditions. This is a sunflower that self-seeded from last year and just came up beside the bed, and I just let it go. I have no idea what variety it is, but my God, it is gigantic. It is multi-branching. It has a ton of buds. Okay, I'm going to put my hand down. Now, look at this. The leaves are humongous, probably bigger than my head. And here, buds, buds. Everywhere I look, there's buds. When this thing blooms, it's going to be magnificent. More here. Everywhere I look, buds. Is that gorgeous? So this is actually the best sunflower I've ever grown. And I didn't even grow it, which maybe is the reason why. Hiding here behind the Russian sage is some foxglove. And this is not going to flower until next year. But I can't wait. I can't wait. I literally thought these were going to be goners. I thought everything was going to be a goner. I'm shocked that anything survived. Now, another super delightful one that I am loving is this guy. And this is actually Achillea, and the variety is marshmallow. It is a perennial, and I love it. It is so cute. It's kind of tucked here behind the lavender. This one here is just starting to flower. Here I have some more. So I kind of did it around the lavender just to see how it goes. Oh, there's another bit on this side of the lavender. Another one that I am loving is the Nigella. And the seed pods, to me, are just as gorgeous as the actual flowers. This was a mix that had a couple of different colors in it, white and blue. So you can kind of see the remnants here of the blue flower. And back here, you can kind of see the remnants of the white flower. But these pods, I mean, they're just gorgeous. Here are 2 babies. These do not flower in their first year, and this is milkweed. It is the irresistible blend, and I can't remember the exact botanical name, the species for this one, so I will put that on the screen. And I'm just happy they survived, and hopefully they'll come back next year, and then I will actually see some gorgeous flowers, and the butterflies will enjoy them. Bunny-tail grass. We've gotten a couple of little furry heads on it, but that's it. I think the actual rabbits may have chewed one of these up because I'm pretty sure I had 3. And, well, it might have also been the drought. But once again, next year, oh, I'm so looking forward to next year when I have all of these things in the ground and it will actually be able to thrive without gasping for water all the time. Oh, I have a bloom here. Again, Cosmos, super short this year. This bed also received drip. And I basically put in here all the leftovers that I had from planting up the raised beds. So we have Cosmos, and look at this. I believe this is Cupcake. And some zinnias. Queenie Lime right there. Not sure what that is. That's a very creamy color. Quite like it. Candy cane back there. But you see the difference. These are actually tiny in terms of height compared to the ones in the beds, because I was definitely watering the beds a lot more than I watered this little bed beside the shed here. We have Scabiosa, and this is Black Knight here, just like what I had in the beds. And this is Summer Fruits. I do have Snapdragons here as well. I actually forgot to pick this one. It's all going to seed now. And I have some Statice here that I have picked and is drying inside. The Statice leaves are huge, huge. So I'm taking this video after the fact. There were a couple of things that I forgot to include in the video, and here is one of them. And this is Colossus Red Gold Marigolds, and they are amazing, amazing. I really think marigolds are underrated because they're considered such a common annual, but some of these varieties are just incredible in terms of the intensity of the color. I wish you could see this in real life because the red is such a velvety red. It's just beautiful. I have another one that the jury is still out on, and it is called Kilimanjaro White, and it is this one right here. And I'm not sure if I like it or not. So it's kind of being overshadowed by the tomato plant here, but we shall see. Another one that I glossed over and didn't really take that good of a footage for was seed sown dahlias, and in fact I don't really have that many blooms on it right now. I hope I have some other footage, and if I do, I'll put it right here. The thing with dahlias that you grow from seed is that you don't know what colors you're going to get. This is a cactus mix. So, oh, this one, I love this one. Okay, take a quick peek at this. This, it's a yellow with pinky, salmony striations on the petals. And the underside of the petals is a deeper pink. This is gorgeous. The seed sown dahlias, you do not know what colors you're going to get. So whatever you grow, what comes up, if you really love it, then they will develop tubers, and then you save the tuber, and then you know every year that's what you will get. This is one of the ones that I got, which is a sort of a darker, almost reddish interior with a peachy exterior, or not exterior, you know what I mean. The peachy color surrounds the reddish kind of interior on the petals. So that's beautiful. I'm keeping that one for sure. I'm not a huge fan of red in the garden. This one is, there's none fully open, but this one is another one I got, and it's a red dahlia. So whether or not I'll keep this tuber, I'm not sure. Absolutely, I'm keeping this one. I mean, there's no question on that. And then the last one I have is a lavender color. This one is just kind of starting to open up a little bit, although it looks like a little bit of a strange, almost malformed bloom. And last but not least, look at this. This is my single seed challenge this year, and it is a hollyhock. So it has the main stalk here, and several of the flowers have already bloomed, and it is, the blooms kind of go from the bottom to the top. So now we're kind of halfway, and it still has all these buds to go. And it actually had a couple of side shoots here. There's one. And here's another one. Yeah, gorgeous. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the tour of everything, more or less, that I grew from seed this year in terms of annuals. Not everything I grew from seed, all the ornamentals that I grew from seed. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year because I learned a lot this year. And so next year is going to be the best year ever. Isn't that what us gardeners always say? Next year, there's going to be no problems. That never happens, but it's always nice to kind of daydream. I hope that your August gardens are all flourishing and that you're taking the time to sit and relax. Sometimes we gardeners tend to do a little too much work and a little too little enjoying of the fruits of our labor. So I, for one, am trying to slow down and sit and relax and enjoy everything that I'm growing. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.